Once your meet is complete, you'll have to take a couple of steps to wrap things up and get all the proper information to each team. The first step that needs to be taken will be to provide a meet backup of the meet to both teams. To do this, again, we go to File and select Backup. And this will give you a destination as to where you're going to send this file. You can either choose to send it to your hard drive, or if you'd like to send it to another disk drive, select your drive and select the drive you'd like to send it to. Once you've selected the destination for your file, click OK, and it'll give you a message and say, this is the information you're going to be backing up. If you'd like to include a message, you can click that box. I would advise against locking the database. There's not a whole lot of benefit to doing so. Once you've done that, click OK, and it gives you the option to include a message like final meet results, all events. It just again keeps track of what's in that particular backup file. Once that's done, click OK, and it creates a file. Again, the naming of that file is very simple: SWMM Swim Meet Manager 3 BKUP, and the name of the database that's open. And again, the naming of these will be in sequential order, 02, 03, with the higher number being a later file. Again, note the location of that file where it's been sent. That's your backup. The other information that you'll need to create will be an export of the results for your Team Manager software. To create that, again, we go to File and select Export. We want to select Results for Team Manager or SWIMS or NCAA database. Click on that and select the team you'd like to send the results for. Usually you're not going to want to have both teams. You'll want to have either your team or the other team. Select a team. You can leave the LSC and region slots blank, and most of the defaults will work just fine. But again, double check, make sure you got your relays plus athletes checked, both genders, standard events, all of this is checked. Once you've selected all the options you want, if you click OK, again, if there are any events that aren't complete, the computer will notify you. Normally, you'll have everything done at this point and this message won't appear. Again, it gives you an export file progress screen, tells you how many teams were in there, how many athletes, how many entries, and basically the information that's included. Click OK, and again, it tells you where do you want to send this file. Your C drive, would you like to send it to a flash drive? You select the destination that you like. Once that's done, click OK, and the meet results have been zipped and created successfully. Note your meet file name will be meet results and the meet name and the date of the meet. And again, we'll tell you the destination of that file. That's your results file that you'll be using in Team Manager to pull in the results and keep track of your statistics for each meet. Click OK. We return to the main screen. The last item of information that you'll want to include will be a full printout of the full meet results. To create that, go to Reports and select Results. Click on Results, and again we have this familiar screen with the event list, the session, and so forth. Again, you have some filtering options up here where you can include specific information, just guys, just girls, a particular age group, or so forth. Usually for meet results you'll want all this information. Again, the events, you can select one or two events or just select all to include all the events. Note your format. Most teams will want to have a triple column. Again, it's a paper savings. You do have the option of creating an HTML file if you like for your web page. Format, again, you can do results by heat if you like, but most teams will leave this blank. You could just select to include the top 3 or whatever, but most teams will leave that blank to include everything. Relay names, same thing, personal preference. Time and date stamp, you can select that as well. Note, including results. You have options for things like records, time standards, entry times, scratches, no-shows. Note, you can include DQ codes. Those are important. Most of the defaults will work, but again, it's a matter of what you'd like to see in your information. Include team scores. Most teams will just want combined. We're not very concerned about the male and the female scores. Last but not least, splits, sort order, selected teams. Most of your information will not include splits simply because that information is not normally included with meets at Aroma stopwatches. Selected teams, you could choose to select one team. So if you wanted that, you click on that button and select a particular team of interest. If you do that, once that's done, close that screen and you're ready to create your report. Click on Create Report. We have this nice, neat report that looks like kind of like a meat program, but it's got all the results in it. And note you've got the inclusion of DQs, the reason for DQs. It's a good way for the coaches to keep track of that information. Those are meet results. Those are the primary things that most teams will be interested in to have once the meet is complete. The backup of the database will include the entire swim meet, all the information in the database, all the results, scoring, and everything else. The export of the results is primarily for teams to be able to dump that information into their team manager software and again keep track of their individual team statistics. The printout of the results again is something that's a benefit to print out for the kids, to post to practice the next day, for the coaches to have to review the results. That's your post-meet wrap-up.